Morning, everybody. Dale here with Scrapyard Rescue. Today we're gonna kind of screw around with fairlane number 2 over there. I want to get the rear end jacked up and get the wheels off and get into the brakes. And what my objective is over there is I want to get that so I can crawl underneath there and like rust proof it and get some undercoating sprayed up in the fenders, that type of stuff, kind of get it, buttoned up and sealed up over there so I can continue on with stuff. I can only get a couple hours in the morning now when the temperatures drop down. By afternoon it's in the mid 90s and the wind's blowing 20 miles an hour and it's nothing but a dust storm here and stuff, so I can't do anything in the afternoons. So I'm going to get you over there. I got the thing jacked up. I'm going to get you over there and show you. I got one of the brake drums off. Well, you got to see this mess, but I'll get you over there and we'll start fiddling around with stuff over there. All right, guys. Like I said, I got the car. I got it jacked up. I can't really get a good camera angle under here where I'm sitting, so I'm gonna have to kind of break it up. But I got the rear brake drum off. A two-piecer. Pretty cool, huh? Can you imagine that somebody I don't think these things were supposed to be That's pretty strange. I don't think these are two-piece. Yeah, it's just, but anyways, here's what's one of the brake shoes. I'll get you down in here a little better so you can see what I got going here. Oh, that seems to be okay. But anyways, yeah, let me get you a little close-up view of this rear brake, kind of show you what I got going with this thing. Okay, there we are. Rear brake. You can tell that this thing has been off the road for God knows how many years, and but look at there's nothing, absolutely nothing. This guy drove this thing until it was literally in pieces. So I'm going to tear all that stuff off right now and clean it up. I'm going to leave the other side on so I have a pattern when I put it all back together. So I know what it's doing. But you can see those helper spring things under there they put on this. The one over there too. I don't know what those are for. I think I'm just going to cut those off. I don't really want those on there. I think they look stupid. I don't know what the point is. This was probably a car that was on a ranch or a farm around here. They probably hauled all kinds of stuff in it, so they beefed up the springs. My other car didn't have them on it. And instead of taking this axle off and all that stuff apart, I'm just going to get the old grinder out, and I'm going to cut those springs off and get them out of there. So, but anyways, I'm going to go ahead and tear this thing apart and see how bad everything is in there. All right, well, let's start taking some of this shit off of here and see what happens. I did, you know, did some, of course, parts checking on this stuff, and man, I can get a Rock Auto has a full set of a whole rear brake setup for this thing. For like 100 and sorry about that, it's just the dust in here. Boy, what a mess. Look at these brake shoes. I mean, they're not even there. And they're all bent up. I don't know how they got all, would have got all bent up in here, but they did. All right, gotta go get a tool. All right, come on, get off of here. All right. Well, guys, you can see on here that I got all this shit out of here, and it's weird how sometimes this stuff works. Like you saw the mess this was in. So I went to, you know, take it apart, and the bolts came right out of the wheel cylinder, just as easy as can be. There's actually still fluid in there, but was really surprising is the brake line just unscrewed like it was just put on there. You know, I thought, well, with the trouble I went through on my other car, I was just going to rip these brake lines off, just get them off there, throw them in the garbage, and buy new ones. It'd be easier. But this thing's perfectly good. I can see all the way back. It's still fastened to the axle. It has all the correct bends in it. It's got fluid in it, so I guess I'm good to go on that. Under here, I guess this was undercoated at one time. I'm going to clean this up. I'll get those things, the little bug nests and everything all cleaned off. And then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to undercoat this. They'll go from probably that bracket on the front of the leaf spring, do of course the whole fender well. Then I'm going to get some of that rust and capsule, you know, stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and paint the axle with it. All this stuff, the frame parts underneath here, I'll get up underneath the side of the trunk, do all that. I'm going to go at least from the front of the shackles or the leaf springs to the back of the car. I'm going to seal all that up with that rust sealer stuff. And then I'll get that black stuff, then I won't have to go back and repaint it. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how bad. You know, there is no brakes on this car. There weren't any brakes. Nothing. It's just metal. The guy must. How long do you got to drive a car with the brakes metal on metal until you cut all the way through the brake drum and it falls off? I don't think they did too much. This car didn't have a lot of maintenance. There's so much oil that was up under the hood, like caked on for 40 years, that all the stuff underneath it was in good shape because it had been covered encased in oil for, 40 years. Pretty good. The bolts all came right out of everything. Nothing was tight, frozen, rusted, shitty. It was shitty, but, oh, you can also see up here, that my first thoughts on this car were, I'm gonna do something different. I want to go black. I was gonna black it all out, and I thought that would be really cool until I got this much of it blacked out, and then decided that really sucked. So I'm going back to white. I'm just gonna paint it white. This black paint, it just don't work. Not here anyway. It's so dirty and dusty and stuff here. You can't do anything. It's just the black paint just got filthy, and I couldn't clean it, and you try to wipe the dust off. It just was scratching everything. And I said, screw this. I'm going to just go to white like I've been painting everything else. It's not a professional paint job by any means, but it looks good. It's a good 10-foot car. I mean, you look at the car at 10 feet away, and they look really nice, so that's what I'm going for. I'm surprised all this other brake stuff. I'll just get a box and dump all this stuff in there. I'll get the new kit, and I'll replace these wheel cylinders. I'm not going to clean them up, put kits in them. I'll just get a whole new brake set up and go from there. But, well, what else is there to talk about today? I'll probably go over and rip the other brake thing off, but I'm not going to put that on camera. I'm sure once you've seen one, they all look the same. So, we're going to go ahead and move around and see what else we can find to do. I guess my little helper was trying to find out what is going on. We've had some bad luck with the little helper past few weeks. Some animal came up here, I'm sure it was some other dogs, and severely tore her up. She had to have 3 surgeries. She's been in the hospital, and she's just finally now starting to get so she can move around with, kind of half normal and everything, but it was pretty bad. So it's been a long couple of weeks with the dog. But I think she looks good. She's going to make it, so happy for that anyway. So anyways, let's go move to something else here now. I don't know what else I can show you, but yeah, we'll find something to do. All right, guys, we got the other side tore apart, cleaned up. This one wasn't as bad. Took me a while to get the brake drum off because it was actually in one piece still, so I had to get it forced around the brake shoes, but it still had some brake shoe on it. I mean, we're talking nothing, and the brake drum was in one piece. So we got these all cleaned up. I got to get some brake parts cleaner. I'll clean these back plates off good, respray them, and get a brake kit and put brakes on it, and I'll have rear brakes. The same thing on the wheel cylinder and the brake line. They just unscrewed pretty good. So I'm kind of debating now. Do I drop the rear end and take those springs out and put some new bushings in? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do all that. I think I'll just do like I thought. I'm just going to cut them springs out. Just do it that way. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Things have been getting so difficult trying to get stuff done in these cars that I'm kind of getting sick of it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. But anyways, we'll move on to something else. All right, guys. I think that's all I'm going to do over there on fairlane number 2. It's already starting to get, the sun's up above the trees, so it's starting to shine down on the car. It's getting pretty hot over there. The actual metal's getting too hot to touch on it, so I'm kind of done over there. That's all I can do. I get up at 5:30. I can work for an hour, maybe hour and a half, and then I got to quit because it's just way too hot. You know, pretty soon the windows start blowing, and yeah, I don't know. This is, so you can see it here, kind of, sort of, the Pinto, which, my Pinto here is pretty much ready to go. The only thing I got is there's some kind of a rattle in the back. I can't figure out what's going on with it. You take it down this goat trail road we got here, and it just sounds like the back end, not the mechanical part of the back end, but like there's something in there that's just rolling, you know, rattling and clunking and banging, and it just drives you crazy. You can't even get out to the highway. It's so bad. And I've done everything I can. The hatch springs up on the top are all fine. There's nothing broke on them. They're not worn out. I actually put a bunch of grease up in there just to, you know, and I can open the hatch and wiggle it all around. It doesn't make any noise at all. I tightened up the lock mechanism on it real tight, so when I slam it slams tight. It doesn't move. It doesn't move at all. But the minute you start driving it, it just starts rattling. So I ordered a set of new leaf spring bushings, shackle bushings for the back. I'm going to replace them. I took one of them apart yesterday, got the bushings out. The inner part of the bushing that goes through the actual leaf spring it looks fine. The lip on the outside is completely gone. I don't know if they're going, you know, a little bit sideways. I don't think they could cause all that noise unless there was no bushings at all in there. A buddy of mine suggested that I take the hatch off and drive it and see if it rattles, and then I'll know it's the hatch. That he said maybe something fell inside of the hatch, but the hatch is sealed. You can't. There's nothing inside of the hatch on the Pinto. The latch is outside on the bottom. The hinges are outside on the top. There is no mechanisms that go through that hook or lock or twist or there's nothing in there. You couldn't get it apart even if there was something in there. So it's not that. I'm just hoping that when I put those bushings in it fixes it. I don't think it's going to, but I don't know. But anyways, this thing runs pretty good. I want to just get it out on the road and drive it, but that's one of the problems with living up here, you know, in the desert. We don't have any roads. The roads are horrible. They don't maintain them. They don't fix them, especially these county roads back out in here that I have to come on, these dirt roads. They haven't done anything to those roads in probably 100 years. You know, they're just crap. They're like trails through the woods, you know. So it's really hard driving these cars up in and out and up and down and around. Everything just bounces and squeaks and bangs and clunks. They fill up with dirt. I'm not taking the hatch off of this and driving it down that dirt road. I don't have enough shovels to keep the dust and stuff out once I got to the blacktop. So, anyways, the number 1 fairlane over there, it's the same thing. Everything's really good on that, except I'm having some cooling problems. I can't figure out the cooling problems. I put the mechanical fan back on it, and I got to get it out. Maybe I'll do that here this morning. Take it out and drive it, you know, down to the store, put some gas in it or something, and see if it starts overheating or not. But I don't know what else to do with that either. It's got a brand new radiator. I took off the electric fan, put the mechanical fan back on. There's plenty of flow through it. It's all just, it's a mystery. I don't know what could be causing it to overheat. You take the cap off the radiator and the water's flowing through the radiator just fine. It's got a brand new aluminum 3-row radiator in it. The water pump's new. There's no leaks. It just overheats. So I don't know. I don't know what's on with that. I got to keep working on that too. But anyways, let's just go ahead and end this video here. It'd be nice if I could get some more subscribers and stuff, but you know, I guess it is what it is. So anyways, let's just go ahead and end this video, and you know, I'll see you sometime down the road.